Good morning, Course 2. Today, we get to take a look at Lesson 102, which is working with transversals and simplifying equations. So, transversals, this is a review for you, but when you have two parallel lines, and you have one line that intersects both of them, that line is called the transversal. Okay, so that's the transversal. These are the two parallel lines. And a transversal that intersects two parallel lines will form 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles. Okay? Now, there are angles that correspond with one another. In other words, they're in the same spot. So, for instance, if I look here, angle number 1 is in the same spot as 5 down there. If you just look at these four, 1 is in the same place as 5, 2 is in the same place as 6, 3 is in the same place as 7, and 4 is in the same place as 8. So those are called corresponding angles. Okay? And corresponding angles are congruent. That means they're the same. So if this is 120 degrees, then this is 120 degrees. Okay? Now, we also have something called alternate exterior angles and alternate interior angles. So exterior angles are the ones that are on the outside. So it would be 1 and 2 and 8 and 7. They're kind of like if this was a highway you're driving down, they're on the shoulder. They're on the outside of that roadway. Okay, so they're called exterior angles. So alternate exterior angles means, number one, they're exterior, so we're talking about 1, 2, 8, and 7. And alternate means it's on the opposite side of the transversal. So 1 and 7 are alternate exteriors, and 2 and 8 are. And if you notice, 1 and 7, those angles are congruent. 2 and 8, see, they're both acute angles. Those are also congruent. The same thing when we're talking about these four interior angles. 4 and 6 are alternate interior angles, and 5 and 3. 5 and 3 are congruent, 4 and 6 are congruent. Okay? Now, one more thing we have to look at are the vertical angles. Vertical angles, if we just look at one set here, vertical angles are those angles that are opposite each other here. Okay? 2 and 4 are vertical, 1 and 3 are vertical. 5 and 7 are vertical, 8 and 6 are vertical. And as you look at this, 1 and 3 vertical angles are also congruent. Okay? So if I know one of these angles, I can figure out all the rest of them based on these different things: corresponding angles, alternate angles, and vertical angles. So let's say angle 1 is 120 degrees. Vertical angles, that would tell me that 3 is 120 degrees. If 3 is 120 degrees, alternate interior angles, 5 is 120 degrees. 5 and 1 are corresponding angles, so they are congruent, and 5 and 7 are vertical angles, so they are congruent. Okay? That means since these two form a straight line, they're supplementary, which means they add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 120, then this is 60. If this is 60, vertical angles means this is 60. If this is 60, alternate exterior means 8 is 60. And if this is 60, corresponding angles, this would also be 60. And notice these two form a straight line, 180 degrees. These two form a straight line, 180 degrees. These two form a straight line, 180 degrees, and so on and so forth. Okay? So there's your review on transversals. Now, we're also going to take a look at simplifying expressions. Okay, so if I have 3x plus 5 minus x equals 17 plus x minus x. All right. Let's take a look. So if I want to simplify this, first I want to get like terms together. So here I have a 3x, and here I have a minus x. And then I have a 5 in between there, and here I have an x, and it's being, we're subtracting an x there. Okay, so 3x minus x would leave me with 2x's, plus 5 equals 17 plus x minus x. So plus x minus x, those two will cancel out. So I'm left with 2x plus 5 equals 17. To get rid of the 5, subtract 5, subtract 5. So now I have 2x equals 12. To get rid of the 2, inverse operation, divide by 2, x equals 6. Okay? Let's look at one more. Let's do 3x plus 2 times x minus 4 equals 32. All right. So here I have to use the distributive property. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times negative 4. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. So I got 3x plus 2x minus 8 equals 32. All right. 3x and 2x is 5x minus 8 equals 32. Okay? Now, to get rid of this, I would add 8 to both sides, right? Inverse operation. So that cancels out, leaves me with 5x, and 32 plus 8 equals 40. Again, to get x by itself, instead of multiplying, I divide, use the inverse operation, and that'll cancel out, leaves me with x. 40 divided by 5 is 8, therefore x equals 8. And that's all there is to simplifying an expression. As always, if you have questions, please call, text, email, or you can join me online tomorrow between 9 and 10 o'clock, and I'll be happy to go through any of these with you. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time.